Hello, everyone. This is Amy Dean, and welcome to our weekly training. And I'm so excited for today because we're going to dive into the 3 ways to declutter your mind and live an intentional life. So, before we get started, make sure you have no distractions. Make sure that I know it's hard when you're on your phone if you're joining from your phone today, but just try to set aside this time for you as best as possible. Get out something to take notes with, and we will do just a short meditation at the end to close up. So if you could find a comfortable place as well. Now, for those of you who are new to the group or just joining us for the first time, my name is Amy Dean, and I am a soul ascension coach and a psychotherapist. And what I do is I help empaths heal their inner child and awaken to who they really are. So, quite simply, it's all about getting past the perfectionism, the self-criticism, this really the inner critic that shows up and creates so much stress within the inner system, and helping to heal at the root of that, which is your inner child, and to move past these wounds into an awakened life. So that's what I help empaths do. And today, on our topic of 3 ways to declutter your mind and live an intentional life, the number one purpose is to help you fully 100% connect with your higher self, connect with your soul, and to really feel in tune with who you are. So let's dive into that today. Please do let me know, by the way, that you're here. Let me know in the comments your name, where you're from right now, and ask any questions in the comments. And if I have time, I will absolutely get to them on our call today. But if not, then I will make sure that I'm answering all of your comments in the comments feed after our training today as well. So let me just start with why we might want to live an intentional life. It might even seem silly, right, that we would even ask why to live an intentional life, but often we go about diving into something or learning something new without knowing exactly why we're doing it. So what we're talking about here is understanding that having an intentional life leads to a meaningful life. And what intentional means is to intentionally or by choice rather, that you are making decisions for how you'd like your life to look, so that it's not just running right past you and you're just trying to keep up. And so I know a lot of you likely feel really busy, really overwhelmed. And so I want to help you settle. I want to help you really feel your soul connection. So to get started with that, make sure you have a pen and paper handy if you're old-fashioned like I am, or if you want to take notes on your phone. But let's dive into how you might start doing that for yourself. So number 1, the most important thing here is that, well, there's 3 important things, but one of the most important things is that when you are living an intentional life, a slower life, a more connected life, right? You're more in tune with your higher self and you're feeling like you're grounded, right? And you know exactly what you're doing. So what this is all about is discovering your values. First and foremost, you have to discover your values. If you don't know your values, then you're going to be conflicted, right? You're going to be confused. You're going to get lost. And so I want to help you. I'm going to give you an exercise today to help you determine your values and to understand exactly what you need to be focusing on and prioritizing in your daily life. So you don't have to do this now. I highly suggest taking time after our training to do this. But how you might do this is get out a piece of paper in the future, and you'll just draw a line down the middle. And on one side, if you could, write down all the things that bring you joy, all the things and people that matter to you, just listing them down one side. And just really get in touch with the things that maybe you want to be doing, but you're not doing, passions you have that you just haven't been able to make time for. And then on the other side of that line, so this is the right side, you're going to write in all those shoulds, right? The should kind of ideas around, well, I need to make this happen, or this is a responsibility that I should do. And all of the distractions of life that are taking up your time and things that you're currently doing that you don't really want to be doing. So that's the difference, right? On the left, it's about what matters to you. On the right, it's what you're giving attention to, but that does not actually fit your lifestyle and fit your needs. And so I encourage you to be gentle with yourself through this, because I know sometimes we can look at this and say, I'm giving so much attention to things that really don't matter to me, and I'm beating myself up. There's a sense of self-criticism coming up around that. And just know that this is just a review, just a reflection, right? Just to discover who you are and what matters. It's not about trying to get it right or trying to get it perfect. It's more about finding out, am I in alignment? What do I need to do to be in more alignment? And so that's what I want to help you with in our training today. So once you discover, let's say on the left-hand side, you discover family is really important to me. That's an important value, because you look and you see you listed all the people in your family that you love and adore. And maybe you notice that you wrote meditation is really important to you, or your spiritual practice of prayer, or going out in nature and enjoying the outdoors. And maybe for you, then nature is a value, or just being present is a value, right? So just noticing, what are some themes coming from this left side of the paper? Now, if you could, and this could be on a totally separate paper if that makes sense for you, but you just want to find out, how important are these value categories to me? So family, for example, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 means super important. It means so much to me. And then 1 means obviously it would be on the lower end of the scale. So notice for yourself, as you're writing down your spirituality, you're putting down family and friendships, maybe that came up for you. Maybe it was more spirituality or nature or work. Maybe work is a top priority in different ways. And so just labeling them for you and noticing, what are your top 3 to 5? What are those top 3 to 5 different values that got maybe a 7 or above? But if you find that you have a lot of values with higher numbers, then an 8 or above, looking at that. And then determining, okay, so these are my 3 to 5 top values. This is what really matters to me. So now it's time to do some work. Just looking at your schedule, looking at your commitments, looking at what isn't working. And you know what's not working because that was on the right side of the paper, right? So give yourself some grace. Give yourself some space, allow yourself to really sit with this and discover, what do I need to make time for, right? Which parts of my values, what are some priorities I'm not giving time for because I'm spending too much time on these shoulds? So because of that, it does require a life change, right? We're doing a lot of work here. To declutter your mind means making a significant life change, because your mind is busy because it's constantly trying to problem solve. It's constantly trying to give you something to do, and it's living in the past and the future almost chronically, right? All the time. And so when you discover your values, when you live by your values, which become your top priorities, your mind doesn't have to be as busy. There's just more space in your life for what matters. And you get in touch with your higher self. You align with the deeper you and truly understand who you are from that place. So that's the first way to declutter your mind. Now, the second way to declutter your mind is to have a journal. Now, some of you may have tried journaling in the past, and maybe you were successful at it, and maybe some of you were not successful at it. But the whole idea around journaling, it's not meant to be a way of opening up these perfectionist parts that some of us tend to have, right? When they show up and you notice, oh, I'm not doing it right, or I should be doing something different, or how do I know that this is going to help me? So I want to give you just a few tips. All you need is a blank journal. And the most important thing you can do at the end of every day, if possible, is to write down the things that caused you the most stress. And as you're doing this, as you're writing them down, you're releasing them intentionally. So how this might look is, as you're writing, you can see that you're writing the story of your life, of the stressors, onto this paper. So noting that it's a story, so important to create some separation between you and the stress that's coming up for you. So to write down this as a story, and as you're writing it down, you're going to intend or repeat to yourself that as I'm writing this down, I'm actually leaving this on the page. I'm not going to pick this back up again tomorrow. It's a brand new day or a brand new moment here and now, and I'm not going to pick the story back up. I'm going to leave it right here, right now. And you might want to take a deep breath in, let it out, right? Just let it out completely if possible. That's going to make a really big difference for you, because everything is about intention, right? When you are intending to release, then you're going to declutter your mind. You're going to allow the things to come up that need to come up, giving yourself space for journaling. I would say at least 10 to 15 minutes in the evenings if possible, and even more if you need it. And so that would be number 2 way to declutter your mind. So let's talk about number 3. So the number 3 way to declutter your mind would be to, well, you probably already know this, but I'm going to go deeper with it. So it is to meditate, to have a mindfulness meditation practice. Now, I'm not just talking about a formal practice, although I highly recommend that to declutter your mind. But in general, what I have found with my students and with myself as well is that when I have an informal meditation practice, which is just really bringing this intentional, mindful energy to all that you do, then you tend to have not only a calmer, more peaceful life, but a more meaningful one as well. And of course, a more intentional life. And so what this looks like for those of you who may be new to informal meditation, or maybe you've heard of it and maybe you've tried it and it didn't work, just know that it takes practice. It's very simple. So let's just talk about some daily things you do already, such as brushing your teeth, right? Taking a shower, washing the dishes, doing the laundry, walking to your car when you're going to run errands, being at the grocery store. All of these things that we do as human beings that we tend to do on autopilot. We just rush through them to get to the next thing, and we're not in the present when we're doing that. So one way of looking at it is we're not trying to split up being and doing necessarily in these cases. You can bring the being dimension into the things you're already doing. So for example, when you are at the grocery store, maybe it's just paying attention to picking up the fruit as you put it into the cart. Maybe it's feeling your breath as you're driving to the grocery store. Maybe it's when you're washing the dishes, you feel the warm soapy water in your hands and you really feel and smell the soap as you're washing the dishes. So it's just about noticing, paying attention, observing. It doesn't mean not having thoughts while you're doing these activities, but it means being aware of your thoughts as you're doing these activities and bringing intentional energy to being mindful of whatever it is you're doing in the moment. So that's what that looks like for these 3 different ways to declutter your mind. Now let's pull them all together, because this is how we live an intentional life. 1, again, so important. You want to have your values. If you don't know what your values are, please take this time to, after, of course, our training, take this time to discover that for yourself and then start to make some changes in your life. Where can you add more creativity time if that's a value for you? Where can you add more family time if that's a value for you? And then the second thing was journaling. Can you fit in 10 to 15 minutes in the evening to journal out the things that are worrisome for you or stressful or have been on your mind all day or feel conflicting? And can you leave that story on the page? Can you let it go? And it's just an intention, right? And if it comes back again, just continue to let it go as best you can, because every time you do that, you're changing your brain and you're changing the way you relate to life. And then number 3, this is all about having a mindful, everyday practice of life. And of course, it's called informal meditation practice, but it's really just bringing a sense of being observant, being open, being self-aware as you are doing the tasks you already do every single day. If you do all of those 3 things every day, I can tell you that number 1, you're going to feel a sense of calm and peace in your body. You're going to feel more fulfilled. You're going to feel even more connected to your purpose. You're going to feel a sense of just joy in everyday life and a deeper connection with others. So this is how you live an intentional life. It means making changes. It means looking at some things that are hard and noticing that this isn't the way you wanted to live your life up to this point. So just notice that. Notice what's here. Notice what's showing up. And I'd love to just have you for a moment, if it's okay. Of course, find a comfortable place. Let me know in the comments if you are ready to meditate. And I'd love to just take you through a very gentle meditation, just to help your body settle and to make this intention to start to bring these 3 things into your life every day. So find a comfortable seat. Make sure that you are somewhere where you won't be disturbed just for a few minutes here. And just closing your eyes, if it feels good, placing your hand here on your heart. Just gently breathing in and breathing out. Just noticing how you feel without changing anything. Often we are in absorption mode when we're taking in information. We're in abstraction when we're thinking about something. And this is about being completely in tune with what is and how you feel. And just a few gentle breaths, choosing not to change anything about your experience, letting yourself unwind, relax, and let go. And as you allow yourself this permission to be and to just notice what's here, what's present, I invite you to deepen your breath just a little bit, just to enliven your body. Good. Taking all your attention now to your breath, taking attention away from thoughts, away from mind chatter, and just simply breathing in and breathing out. Good. And as you're allowing yourself to completely let go, let's set an intention together. This might look like something such as, I am intending to declutter my mind. I will live by my values. I will journal each day. And I will bring mindfulness to all that I do as best I can. Just letting that sink in. See if you can feel the power of choosing, of making that intention right here and right now. Just let your body relax. And then when you are ready, one more deep breath in, just to come back to the fullness of the moment. And opening your eyes, coming back to the room, allowing yourself to get reacquainted with the space and waking up a little bit if you felt sleepy. And I want to thank you so much for being here and for making this a part of your weekly journey every single week. I know some of you can't make it live, and that's perfectly okay. You can always watch the replay. And one other thing, so please leave questions and any other comments in the comment box, and I'll be glad to answer them after our training. And then anything else that comes up, I'm happy to answer in the group as well. So know that I'm here to support you on your spiritual awakening journey. And I look forward to connecting with you as we continue forward. We have, I think we have 2 more slow living trainings coming up in this month. And so one thing to note as well is that for those of you who are interested in working with a coach and you're finding that you need some support or that you're interested in deepening your spiritual journey, please do let me know. You can contact me through direct message and let me know how your experience was today. And if you'd like to have a consultation to find out if I have some services that are a good fit for you, please do let me know and I'd be happy to help. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Goodbye, everyone.